Hello everybody. Now, if you are wondering the reason why this may look a little bit different from the rest of my content is because I am no longer recording it with the PlayStation, because it's not a video game. I'm recording it with my phone once more. And that's because excuse me, I am finally making the video to tour my rock collection. No, the games will not be a part of it. Unless you want to see me play the farming game or Clue. So, let's start this out with the bottom. Now, these are my biggest rocks. We'll start this out with my chunk of obsidian. Nice, smooth, just volcanic glass. Nice and big as well. Next up, we'll start out with this random big rocks I have. Just grabbed it because, yeah, I don't know. Looked kind of cool to me at the time. This part's really smooth. Next rocks that we have. Oh, it's this one. Once more, it's just kind of one of those random scenes I got. Let me try and get this into the better light scene. No, this doesn't have any random scene. If you're wondering why the light's yellow, my light bulb is yellow, but yeah, this doesn't have any of this random cool inside. One of my rocks, the very big rocks, has like a very cool inside scene. Once again, another one of these big rocks. Actually smaller, it's more like the size of my hand. Really smooth on this side once again. And these sides, actually a little bit sharp. That's really the only cool thing about those ones. We have this rock, which I think is pretty cool just because you can see how it's like a bunch of different rocks stuck together. If you're wondering, it actually came off of an even bigger rock right here. Right along here. It was stuck onto a rock like this. That fell off. I picked it up. Then we have this rock, which is the closest rock in my whole entire collection to being a cube. So yeah. And then we have the heaviest rock in my collection, as well as the densest rock, because it's not actually a piece of rock. It's a chunk of metal. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but no, that's just sound my kneecap up. No, that's just sound my bed. Hold up. I don't know if you guys were able to hear it. I was trying to get the sound of it making metal noises whenever I hit it. But yeah. And then the two of some of my best rocks in my entire collection. My fossil. Don't know what part of a dinosaur or animals that this came from. My guess, probably either a jaw. Actually, might be a shoulder blade. I don't know, but it's cool. A fossil. This is my largest fossil in my entire collection, and actually, this might be even bigger if you classified petrified wood as a fossil. You can even see, if you look at it from the side, you can even see what's rock-like towards the center. So that is my evidence that this isn't just a giant piece of wood. That, and also, when you hit it, it doesn't sound like wood. Here's what wood sounds like. If you want to, I can go outdoor to the trees outside and knock on those. Just proves that that is petrified. Next up, second bottom shelf. Let me move one new guy's way. If you're wondering, still working on that. I've taken a little break from it. Going to finish out one of these days. This ram rocks I found at an RV park. Very cool. Very brittle. This is the same type of rock as well. Piece of glass that I found around campfires that I thought was a rock for a while. Don't ask me how I thought this was a rock. I do not know. It's just a random piece of glass. I have this rock, very smooth on this side, nice bumpy on this side, plus it's a nice shade of red. this rock. This was the rock that I was thinking about earlier, see? So cool, like bluish insides whenever it's not being turned yellow from the light. Then I'm moving to the living room. It's into some sunlight. See? Well, it looks way better with sunlight. Where is it? Alright. Next up, this little tiny rock. It actually came off of the piece from one of my other rocks. We have this rock. I'm just gonna do this just to quick thing. I have that rock, that rock, that rock. What's this rock? Oh, this is one of my rocks I grabbed from a riverbed. It's really smooth. We have this rock. This one of no. Well, no. Yeah, no, this rock isn't it. One of my rocks in my collection is actually decently sharp. It's not that one. Just it's on next level. Alright. Keep going down. That rock, that rock, that rock. What's this rock all the way in the back? Oh, it's this one. I'm actually going to bring this into normal light just because I think that's kind of cool. Found this rock out in the desert. So yeah. Don't know much about this, but it's kind of cool in my opinion. Alright. Actually gonna move that up a little before we have this rock. Ooh, this rock. They're really smooth. This rock, is it smooth enough for me to roll? It's smooth enough for me to roll. That door's circular enough. We have that rock, that rock, that rock, that rock. The darkest rock in my collection. Now this one's definitely a riverstone that I got. It's also perfectly skippable. Just yeah, it's my darkest rock I have in my entire collection. Piece of a road, asphalt. And then we have those two rocks. If you want more in-depth explanation about those rocks, just let me know in this level. Oh, I almost forgot. My display case of the rocks that I really like and thought they were pretty fancy. Find decent light? No. Move this to this table, see if I can get good light. So, we have a shined up piece of jade, a polished piece of petrified wood, random rock, big piece of polished petrified wood, more random rocks. This how it looks cool. Another piece of random polished green rock. I don't think that one was jade. Another polished rock. That. We have those two like leopard looking rocks. I have that rock, which is my lightest colored rock that isn't white. I have that rock, which looks pretty cool. We have a polished piece of lapis, pretty cool. That rock, another leopard looking rock. That rock, that rock, that rock. Most of these are polished, that's why they're in here. That rock, this rock, that rock, this rock, that rock, that rock, this rock. How many times can I say rock within a minute? Who knows? Ah, actually looks pretty cool. Then we have that one. A shell. What are you doing in there, shell? Oh, it's taped, so I can't get out. Oh well. Random piece of rocks of metal that broke off. Oh wait, that is a chunk of metal. What metal it is, I completely forgot. I should have kept no name tag placed from where I bought from with it. But yeah, I just realized this one is a little piece of metal. I have an obsidian arrowhead. Not made from a chunk of obsidian that I have over there. We have that rock, and almost see-through rock. So those are the rocks that are in this display case. if you're wondering, no, it isn't a real display case. Actually, it's a scene from a chocolate scene, but works pretty decent for a display case. And no, the obsidian arrowhead was not made out of that piece of obsidian. So, this is my best part of my collection. If you're wondering, bottom shelves for the big rocks. This shelf's for more of the random rocks. This shelf is actually for the really, really cool rocks. Also, I'm gonna probably have to move most of that stuff from being on top of there. Oh well. So, we have a round jar of little pebbles that I bought from a dinosaur museum. My camera will actually focus on it. Also, the cork is barely in there. They will not fall out. Well, maybe they will. Maybe one just fell out somewhere on the floor. I don't know where it's at. So yeah, there's a ram rock on there. Oh well. We have this. Here's the sharp rock that I was talking about. This is the sharpest rock that's in my collection. So yeah. Actually managed to take a bite out of it. We have a piece of wood. Not petrified wood or anything, just a regular piece of wood. But I cut up open into a knot. And yeah. Seen that, I thought that was pretty cool. Next up, we have another very smooth stone. A big chunk of lapis. Big chunk of metal with 2 fossils in it. I think that they're fossils. They might just be burn marks. Since I did find this where the Roosevelt burned through. If you're wondering, the Roosevelt was a big fire that burned through Wyoming out there. Hold on, wait. Out there. Like, not decently close to my house, but decently close to my house out by the woods. I did find this rock over there. Well, I guess this piece of metal over there. So, those might be burn marks. So, most of the rocks have burn marks from it. It's like fully evenly across the rock. Not 2 random spots. So, they might be fossils, might not be. Next up, random dead monarch butterfly I found. I'll move you over there, so I'm going to need to check out that. Next up, fake T-Rex tooth from a museum. 2 random cool small rocks. This rock you can actually use to make sparks with. It was some smell right here. Boom, sparks. Don't know what rock it is. It's full of holes. But yeah, if any of you have an idea what this rock is, let me know in the comments. Piece of geode. It was one of those geodes that were solid inside with crystal. Oh, right, me fossilized clamshell. I don't have a lot of fossils, but I do have some. Need to go find more fossils one of these days. Lapis. A chunk of pyrite. I've shown this to you guys in the short that I made. But I was able. Oh, change camera zoom. Is it working? I was able to show you guys in that short how it's one of the pieces of pyrite. Little tiny squirt. Why is my camera? Work with me. Work with me. There we go. See? Next up, on my newest rocks to my collection, a opalized shell. The person who I bought this from made it polished, but I don't know how I'll try out changing colors. I might need Outside. Hold on, wait. There we go. Now you guys can see it change colors. Opalized shell. Oh, also we have the penny dog, the baby dime, and the nickel noodle somewhere around here. Don't know where. We have, oh, wow, but this small rock actually is this, no, this rock is a deep blue. Yeah, this rock's a deep blue. But now it's showing up as green. I blame that on the yellow light. Alright. Out there. Grab this. Of this rock. Once again found it in the burn, but this one's actually kind of shiny and sparkly. We have this rock. Now this is what most of the burnt rocks look like. This side was facing up. Most of it got burned. This side got slightly charred, but still recently decently fine. Found it like this out in the ground, so that's what most of the rocks from the burn look like. Not with two random spots. Round piece of jade that I bought. That's my largest piece of jade. Round rock my grandma gave me. Rock from the Wind River. Ooh. And my grandma on my dad's side bought this for me for my birthday. It's pretty cool. There's a couple of rocks in there. We have this. If you're wondering, the bottom is nothing but salt crystals. This used to be way bigger. It is extremely delicate and very brittle. But it used to be this big and have like a starfish imprint on it. Now it only has that one tendril seam with those bits. But it used to be all the way this big. It used to be this big with starfish tendrils on it. And it used to be this big on both sides. Boom, boom. Almost full circle. It had this, like, an imprint of a starfish. So, it might be a starfish fossil. Probably not, though. Found out in Wyoming once more. But, yeah. But, because of how brittle it is, most of this that's left is decently solid. I could pick this up. But, all of it that was there earlier was, like, loose dirt. And very, very loose salt crystals. And it was this big. So, guess what happened to it? Just slowly crumpled down from just sitting there. And whenever I hounded it, it would break off into small pieces like this piece. Or this piece. So yeah. That has to be one of the most annoying rocks I've had. Because it looked so cool when I had it. It was very cool looking when I first got it. But slowly broken down over time. Next up, we have another small rock. Just tipping this over, try to break off another piece of that. Then, we actually have a rock so you can see through. If I were to put this up against the light, well, you can sort of see, get it at the right angle. But, up against the light, voila. Just so very see through. That light isn't actually strong enough, but you can't see through that one if you get a powerful enough light. Random shell from Texas. Got from when I visited the beach there from while my mom and dad were working down there. Once again, another piece of pyrite. Another piece of rock broke off. Says, I think. No, it wasn't from there. I think it's like more like the base. Let me see. This side's more salty. This one would go on here. Ah, no, I didn't find that pulp, etc. But this used to be part of this. So, in fact, I'll move that there. Another random shell. Moving you, monarch butterfly, back over onto there. You know, I should probably put the delicate stuff away from each other and keep it in a better protected spot. Random M&M jar from my mom and dad's Christmas bonus. Gonna use it to store elk ivories. Another round piece of polished rocks that my grandma gave me. Wyoming banded iron. Cool. This is also another round one. I think this is last of them. Wyoming jasper, nice. This one, my smallest but also highest quality piece of pyrite, since you can actually see the little pieces of metal in it better. This is whenever my camera decides to focus. Come on, camera, work with me. Ram 3D printed dragon. Another Ram cool smooth rock. Ooh, that rock my grandma gave me. Feldspar from the Winder River. Now this rock you also used to be able to make sparks with. You just slide something metal, like try to remember the name. It's those one little wrench scenes. I think that's called hex wrenches. Use them for tightening very small stuff. The front is a hexagon, comes in like an L-bar shape. I don't know. Mom and Dad use them for tightening bows stuff and small boats. Right, you take one of those, strike them amongst the back end. Used to produce sparks, no longer does. This rock, bubbly. The top looks bubbly. Bottom much less impressive. The bottom just looks like round rock. Found it laying down like this. Random rock side up. Grabbed it, flipped it over, and boom, bubbly rock. Once again, little 3D printed dragon once more. Oh, why are you so sad, buddy? Gonna move you to the pause. I'm eventually gonna have to move for this video. Next up, some random shell fossils from North Dakota. Where in North Dakota? They were by they're by a Stanley, North Dakota, I think. But yeah, bunch of random fossils in the rock. You want to see another one? Here we go. Here's more shell fossils. You can pause this part off so that way you can see this shell fossil more. It's actually probably the biggest intact one in this whole rock. But yeah. Alright, let me move this stuff. Move my skinning knife. Move the blades for it. Let's see if YouTube takes it down. Takes this video down. Moves the random games. Can I bounce it? Bounced it. Let's go. Alright. Oh, there. I think it just fell. No, never mind. It's still up there. Okay, zoom in. Camera. There we go. It's still over there. I didn't throw it in between the bed and the wall. And my camera zoom started to break was how long this video is. Okay. Taking this one. Now this. My best pieces of rock scenes I have. Got a piece of rose quartz in here. Alright. We'll start with the top. Polished piece of jade. Piece of copper. Oh, it even has started to oxidize some. I've been waiting for that piece to oxidize. It's been like almost a full year and it has yet to start oxidizing. If you're wondering, oxidization is a process from when copper goes from reddish to green due to oxygen. We have random coral rock, random smooth rock. That I think it's another polished piece of jade, or here's that, or it's green rock. That. We have 3 rocks in here, actually. We have random broken piece of geode that I had, random white rock, and also one of the random rocks from the RV place. If you're wondering, they are very brittle and you can break them with your hands. That's why I have that one in there. I broke it small enough, put it in here. It says right now since I need some more stuff to fill up those spaces. A bunch of random geodes. Next up over here, barely a geode. It's like a 99% rocks, and then boom, little mini piece of geode in the center. Now this is your more classical geodes. Not like the solid piece of geode that I showed you guys earlier. Yeah. Is that one the solid piece of geode? Hold on, let me get that into better light. It barely is. It's a solid piece of geode around the edges. I should have been doing the video over here. No, never mind. That's just glare getting in the camera. Ow. It's in fashion, man. So yeah, next line. Wow, a leopard rock, more geode. A cool looking rock. Not a rock. What are those rocks? Lined rock. More geodes. It's full of geodes, but that's because they look cool. Oh, this is one of the base pieces from the rocks I was showing you guys earlier. So one was like the starfish scene that used to be on it. That is actually one of the pieces of salt from the base. Yeah, it snapped off, so I put it in here. Actually, probably preserving more of that rock since the actual rock is for just sitting there. Alright. More cool looking rocks. Ooh, now this. Actually a cool rock. So you can see all those little holes? This rock floats on top of the water. Once again, I would show you it, but I can't really open because it's tape. Yeah, I can't really open it, but yeah. That rock can float underwater. We have another cool looking rock. Around rocks. Oh, now that rock just looks cool because of the color composition in it. Alright, next line. Did I skip any lines? No. Alright. We have a cool looking red rock. Polished up. One with a dent in it. Ram slice of geodes, since once again I did have enough to fill this up, so that's main geodes. That cool looking piece of I think it's quartz. Probably different rocks though. Empty space. Alright, that's because the rocks that was in here fell off and is boop, 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 boop. There. That rock, that little like speckled one there, used to be in there. And then while I was moving it, I tilted it straight up and down and it fell out over to there. Of that rock, that rock, that rock, ooh, almost these two right there. That rock, another nice blue rock. The rose quartz. Now, I'm gonna tell you something funny about the story of this rose quartz right here. This rose quartz I found right there in our yard. Like right in that general area in our yard. Which is quite an unusual place to find rose quartz. Or at least I think it is. I don't think they normally find a chunk of rose quartz out in a granite bed. Since our house is built on top of a bunch of granite gravel that's like 5 or 6. No, not 5 or 6. Like, I think it's like 10, maybe 15 feet below the house. I don't know. But our house is built above a granite bed. So, on top of the granite bed is a bunch of dirt. On top of that dirt was apparently this piece of rose quartz. Now, that isn't the weirdest thing about this rose quartz. The weirdest thing about this rose quartz is that it smelled like bubble gum for a solid 5 years. Solid 5. Reason? I do not know. But it smelled like bubblegum, and it just barely stopped smelling like bubblegum when I put it in here. Watch, this whole entire case smells like bubblegum because of this. If I were to open this up and it smells like bubblegum, I'm blaming it on that piece of rose quartz, because why on earth does it smell like bubblegum? It no longer does. Well, last time I smelled it, no longer does, but yeah. And if you're wondering why I'm smelling rocks, It's because this round piece of rose quartz that smelled like a piece of bubblegum when I found it. That was like 5 as well. So that probably explains why I smelled it in the first place. Even my mom and dad and grandma and dogs agree with me that it smelled like bubblegum when I first picked it up. Why? I do not know. But I do know that this is a piece of rose quartz. This has to be one of, if not the weirdest piece of rocks in my entire collection. That is why I gave it the nickname, the bubblegum piece of rock. Moving on. Moving on to a piece of pyrite. Random rock. Random rock with a bunch of holes in it. Ooh. A shell. Once again, not fossilized, or at least I don't think it's fossilized, but yeah, it's shell. And then, some more random rocks, 2 of them. Actually, maybe it was one of those rocks that were in here that flipped over. But yeah. So that is the entirety of my rock collection. If you want. Now that's the entirety of my rock collection. Plus a butterfly. Plus a round piece of wood. So if you guys want me to show you guys more random stuff from my random collections, let me know. I can always do a tour of random games that I have. Or of my mom's bookshelves that's currently a mess. I did finally get around to organizing it. That's around my shelf. Also, don't mind the tests. That's like my general shelf that's full of books that I would read. And yeah, that's also more around books. Also, if any of you guys read Wings of Fire, it's amazing. I've been reading graphic novels. They just need to release more of them. Also, read The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Also, we have the first Lord of the Rings book. It's currently in our treasure house still, and I forgot to bring it down. So that's why we only have the 2 towers in the Return of the King. Also, can you please help convince my cousin to watch the Lord of the Rings movies with me? I promise, cousin. They are good. Yeah, that is for my random collection of stuff. As well as the American flag. So, yeah. Oh. Also, limited edition Wings of Fire book. I need to actually get a case for it. But yeah. Well, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And until next time, this has been Daniel. Goodbye.